exorcism, but that's it. It's not as wild, although again, Q has a lot of pressure to win out in those lanes.
It's a very scary sight.
Yeah, was it flashing for you as well?
No, I wish it was.
It is flashing. It's like janky for some reason. You know how Dota 2 is. Beta game.
Beta game, yeah. Bit more time.
It's not. We didn't raise that much money in this battle pass. You know, we didn't do our part.
Not too much, John. Not too much.
Not too much. Unimpressive. Unimpressive.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, if you want to get to the 40 mil, just delete Arc Warden. Like, make that the 40 mil. If you could make that the prize for the 40 mil being reached, I can guarantee that we would hit 40 mil. Just delete Arc Warden.
Gabby.
What is it?
He's already starting with the trash talk. Nice puck, Jackie Mao.
Jackie. Love me some Jackie.
These boys are
You sound very disapproving, John. It's like you're their parent or something. You're just not happy with what their behavior.
No, it's been quiet in the lobbies, you know, it's been
Oh, they're ignoring you, aren't they?
Uncharacteristic. Yeah, I think March has stopped biting the bait.
He's had enough.
Stop biting it. It's serious mode. Serious mode for TNC, you know. Flick that switch. They gotta win.
Every day
to win it, Mike.
Every day you ask him the exact same question. He gives you the exact same answer. And you just keep asking him.
Yeah, exactly. That's the game plan, Mike. That's how we win.
Gabby's going to run in here onto Masaros. Hoop Stomp's going to be out, and Fearless going to come in now. Gabby going to be in danger. Caught by that Aether Remnant, and there's your first blood. Masaros is able to take it.
Yeah, that's a fantastic start. TNC not going to be happy bleeding first blood like that. Even Bounty Rune trade otherwise, but Masaros just off to a good start. He's going to be, you know, a little bit up in terms of EXP. He's going to be up in gold. That means he's going to have more regen and potentially much earlier timing on that Ring of Halt. So TNC's got to watch out there. It is going to be, of course, the CK and Oracle up against that Centaur plus the Pause 4 Void Spirit. And if you land that every time, the Hoof is not far behind the Remnant.
True. Down to that bot lane, of course, you've got Jackie and KB up against each other. They'll have the support of Boombill and March hanging around. So March just going to be on the Oracle down at that bot lane. Interesting decision to be made there from TNC. You do usually see March in the safe lane, but they've got Tims up there instead. So it might mean a bit of a slower game for Tims. So I don't believe he'll be able to leave the lane too often.
No, you've got to protect your CK here. I can see why you'd go Oracle Bloodseeker though. Root into Bloodright is super potent if they do want to commit for March. That's one way to start finding kills at level 2, level 3. You just need to ensure Gabby has some space here. And of course that means I don't expect March to go down mid, but looking at that mid lane, Fearless up against Armel. DP versus Quap, it's going fairly even for both sides. Slightly better for Armel. You do have the sustain in the DP, but Spirit Siphon, you're probably not going to reach Armel, and he can break it with a blink. So it's not as value here in this lane, in this matchup specifically.
Mid lane Armel and Fearless going at it. Armel slightly ahead for now, but it's pretty even. Just one deny ahead, in fact, for Armel. Fearless going to be a little bit cautious about how many Shadow Strikes he does take, though Tims, top lane, does end up dying. Q able to pick up the kill on the Void Spirit, and well, it can be a bit tough for the Doom. Of course, you can't really do much until you have a few more levels up.
No, and the issue here is Tims went for level 1 Scorched, so the cooldown is pretty massive. He doesn't do anything in that downtime, and without the VAR, you're not getting steady EXP, steady gold. That is hurting this lane a bit.
Oh, Gabby. Oh, MLPDotA. Able to kill off the Pause 1 now. Gabby. Very uncharacteristic of him to die like that, but that is the case. 3-0 now for MLPDotA.
It's big wins all around. Tims does have level 2 now, but again, support Doom up top is just so passive. Like, he gets Devour to get a range creep. Maybe you get Scorched Earth off, but it doesn't compare to the control and the stuns out on MG.Trust. And if MG.Trust keep that pace up, your Void Spirit's not going to be too far behind. His timing's going to be on point. He's going to scale really well, and that's a scary prospect here for TNC.
Yeah. Shout out to Danog, by the way. Danog just sent me a message saying TNC is running the red hero strat. Of course, March not really following suit there, March, but the rest of the heroes are very bright red, looking very nice. See if it does work out, though. Right now, it's not working in TNC's favor as they lose another. KP going down on the Bloodseeker.
And that's just giving a lot of momentum here for MG.Trust. 4-0, giving Ricky early kills, of course, early timing into that power treads, and then the defusal flies in. Not a great time. And MG.Trust, every single lane's really going well. Like, the mid lane's the only one where TNC's edging out a bit more, but that might change with Q making his appearance. They're going to go over these runes.
Mel's going to miss out. Haste rune there for Fearless. Mel was a couple seconds off the blink, and even if he did commit the blink, it probably would have meant his death. Better off not doing so, and almost gets Q's courier, but that's also going to get away. So the lane will stabilize once again. Motivate Trust. They will still hold a 1k net worth lead. Q will return back up towards the top lane where he might run into Tims. Masteros has anyway, but Gabby's going to come in for a fight. Masteros proving to be a little bit too tanky at the moment, however, and Tims getting caught out once again from Q. Isn't going to die, but he has such little armor on that Doom that Q's base damage is really starting to get to him. And so far, no good for TNC.
No, it's been a rocky start. You're at the point here where Masteros, he does have the Ring of Health on top of his 2 Ring of Regents, and he's going to go for the Hood of Defiance first. So it's going to be a lane that you just can't shove the center off. Unless you throw more heroes up, you're going to have to accept that laning duo. Again, TNC's kind of shafting it in exchange for that potential aggression bot, which we're not quite seeing it as well. I don't think KP and March have really committed the Blood Right plus 14 send route too often. So it's going to be a while longer for TNC to find some spacing out. And MG.Trust are just playing all their cards right. They're just being aggressive. They're just forcing themselves onto TNC while they're not ready.
Yeah. Top lane, Gabby needs to be a bit careful here as Q is closing the gap. They don't really have the mana, however. Does have 8 stick charges, but does not choose to pop them. Gabby's underneath his tier 1 anyway, so he's going to be rather tanky. Mid lane, Fearless still trying to abuse Armel on that Queen of Pain. Armel going to blink towards the DD rune now, which is going to be secured there by March, and Fearless is going to be in danger. He'll go for the Siphons. Armel getting low, commits a Sonic Wave. No, it's not enough. Wow. Boombell was there on the Grimstroke, and Fearless does go down to March eventually. But of course, MG.Trust going to be very happy with that one.
Oh, definitely. They're just winning out in every trade. They get the kill before the QoP, so that is extra EXP, extra gold going to the DP. Gonna be a good time for MG.Trust. And the beauty of this is you can see the build here on Fearless. He doesn't go for the exorcism, he just wants to stabilize the lane. So there's no timings to be worried about. Maybe at level 7 you'll see the investment in the exorcism, but they know they're not gonna be shoving any towers yet. So there's no point in leveling. They just maintain that aggression here.
March gonna rotate up top. Gonna spot out Q there with Tims. They might have a crack at this. Q be chased down by Tims. Fortune's Enter fly out, getting rid of that Resonant Pulse shield, and Q will get Purifying Flame down. March so far has set up both kills for the side of TNC.
Yeah, and it looks like the initial level it's on that Oracle is key now for TNC. He's at level 5. He's got a ton of damage coming in with the Purifying Flames if you get it off. So they can start actually setting up with the Oracle. And I guess this gives Tim some space down the line. But it's really up to March now to make this play work. And so far, it's been paying off. He does leave KP. But your Bloodseeker at level 5 now should just sustain that lane solo. And TNC, and they aren't really too far behind anyway. I think as long as March buys that space out, you're fine. But MG.Trust, they're not resting. Big rotation up top.
Yeah, Q and Boombell going to be with each other, but it looks like they're going to run the other way now. Back into that mid lane where Armel still having a lot of a big struggle. He's ahead in terms of net worth, but there's so much harassment coming out onto this Queen of Pain. Now, well, Fearless is actually going to rotate to his team, and they're going to start taking stacks away. Again, March does this every game, where he stacks up this area of the jungle. Looks like MG.Trust has caught on, and they will take them away, so Armel will not be able to secure them.
It's a big win, just denying that net worth off. Of course, it's been a rather rocky start for even Gabby as well, so he would have loved that farm. It's going to slow them down even further, and you know, MG.Trust, all of this movement has really bought so much space for Jackie. Number 1 in net worth on that rookie, has his power treads, has 1 out of 2 of the alacrities up, so the diffusal blade going to be on at a really good time. And that does mean you should expect the Ricky to start being active as soon as that diffusal's up. It's a worrying timer here for TNC. You'd expect them to maybe make a move with Armel, but
KB, no, they're going to go after March instead. March trying to help out KB, and does, but it will cost him his own life. Jackie will be able to get away with a kill. And well, top lane, while that's been happening, John Fearless is forcing in the top tier 1 tower. TNC, they're trying to set up for a bottom tier 1 push. It might be a bit slow though.
It's definitely not as quick. They've got the levels up. They do pop Phantasm. It's only Boom Bell around, so looks like they might just see this, but that's a ton of space for MG.Trust. They are looking up top, just shoving the wave in and setting their eyes down mid as well. Just taking control of that jungle up top. So you're not going to have room to really farm safely anymore, even with this tier 1 bot being taken.
Well, they do get that bot tier 1. Mel now going to find a nice arcane rune on that Quap. Might look for a pick-off rather soon. She does have the Sonic Wave up. Still a little behind in net worth, especially for Armel standards. He's going to run into Masseros, but doesn't really want to engage with the Centaurus. He does have the Hood of Defiance available right now. Instead, might just try and settle for the easier kill in Q, but no, even Q's level 6, so he's going to be fine. Not really many options for Armel this game.
No, it's been a slower start, and we've seen him commit the Sonic Wave once. I think he really needs to find a side lane. Needed to find a side lane to make that work, but they haven't. So it's just back to a slow farm game. You've got this Midas up in Gabby. So the CK starts to find that stable source of gold, stable source of EXP. That's what they want, and
Boombill is going to be ruptured up. KB will now throw out the Blood Rite, but Boombill just going to run away. And it looks like they are going to be unwilling to try and dive the tier 2. Which is fair enough, it is only a Grimstroke. That'll be your rupture gone for another minute.
Yeah, it's a bit of a loss. I think they're not finding any kill opportunities anyway though, so might as well toss it out to give it a try. But look at Jackie. With his space bot out here, he's 300 gold off the diffusal. That's going to be 12-minute diffusal with the power treads plus a rate band. Really good timing for the Ricky, and that really shoots his damage up. You're going to have to be careful if you jump the Ricky. Expect some really good right clicks to come out of him.
Absolutely. 200 gold just about for that recipe to be up for Jackie. At sub 12 minutes probably. This is going to be very, very quick. This is a concern now for TNC. You've even got the blink up on Masseros, John. So now you've got your initiation there. They're going to try and push in the mid-tier 1 tower. But this could actually be perfect timing because MLPDotA with these new items, I don't think they would say no to a fight.
Oh, definitely. They're going to be looking for the fight. They've got Exorcism ready from Fearless, so they could transition a mid-fight into a push. It's going to be ill-timed if TNC does jump into this.
Q going to be on the front lines there, just in front of Masseros. March, nice positioning to try and break any kind of smoke. But KB is going to get caught out with that hoof stomp and the Inkswell, and that'll be your Bloodseeker gone. They have found another March, trying to get in range to help out KB. Will get caught by Jackie. A double kill out for MG.Trust, and they're on to the tier 1 mid tower.
Yeah, just perfect coming out from them. They don't even need the Exorcism up because of how fast they found his kills. Masseros just tanks the hits, gets the return damage off. So mid tier 1 gone, top tier 1 gone. That's the jungle opened up here for MG.Trust. They've had this deep ward for a while, and they'll just keep playing it that area. TNC playing it smart, you know, opposite side of the map, bot, but you can see Jackie already keeping track of Gabby, so it's not as safe as you'd want. Still, these wards they have further out are giving them some good sources of vision to avoid those rotations out from MG.Trust.
Mid lane KP having a look at Masaros, but no chance in hell of that. Bot lane, Jackie. Just looking at Armel, they'll get the Inksaw. Armel does not want to be here right now. The smoke screen comes out with the tricks of the trade, but the Stampede may be able to help. No. They do go down. Tims still has that Doom off. Be able to get Jackie with the Rupture out from KB, and there should really be no saving Jackie here, but Masaros is trying to come in. Gabby gonna get the false promise placed on him to try and survive a little bit longer, but Fearless is gonna just chase him down. They do eventually get the kill. On to the Oracle, March in danger. Masaros gets the stun off onto Tims, and Tims is eventually gonna die as Q gets some very nice body blocks off. And although they did get the Ricky kill, it is still going to be a 3 for 2. Gabby did go down along with Armel and Tims.
Yeah, you're perfectly fine with that if you're MG.Trust. They had to drop the Doom as well on the Ricky. So that's a long cooldown now committed. You don't need to worry about the Doom for the next minute and a half. You've still got the Exorcism here sitting on Fearless. They might look to force a tower out once more. There is a smoke up in Boombell, but not quite in position here still.
But Armel, smoke screen once again. Armel not able to blink out in time. Will blink, but wow,
Oh.
Jackie. Quick blink strike straight after. Oh, and Armel, he is having a very, very bad game. He's not going to be happy. Move stomp. They have caught out March. Gabby is trying to come in and help, but Masaros just runs up to him with the Inkswell. They're still going to try and fight, but now Fearless pops the ulti. Ruptures out from KP, but Gabby gets caught. I'm not sure what the idea was there.
It's falling apart a bit for TNC. Regardless of what they were planning to do, the reality is they're 4K behind now. Their farm on Armel has really lagged behind, but he's not too far behind compared to Fearless, so he's actually not at a bad spot. It's just really just not what we're used to seeing here.
Fearless. Exorcism, Stampede. He's going to fight back. They're trying to fight a Death Prophet with an Exorcism and a double silence now out from Boombell. Armel going to blink in. He could commit the Sonic Wave and will, and eventually does kill off Boombell. While that's happening, however, Jackie pushes in the top wave. Gabby will be forced to TP, which means MG.Trust might look for another fight, and KP might be the target. They won't catch him out.
Oh man.
Seems to be getting very desperate for TNC.
Yeah, the movements aren't clean. The engagements aren't quite clean as well. MG.Trust has a lot of good control here. They're going to need BKBs up, I'd say, pretty soon. But it doesn't look like they're going that route, and that'll just allow MG.Trust to kind of dance here. Like, you look at Jackie. He's got the Yasha up. He's going for a BKB. And once you've got that on the Ricky, you're a lot less worried about certain spells. Everything but the Doom is now a non-factor. So he's going to have a lot more fun of a time once that is farmed up. And TNC, you look at Gabby, he still needs the SNY. You know, it's still a slow-going process there. We're going to see a Yule's out for Armel. And that should help him at least stand in front, but I think a lot of this now goes on to Tims, right? He's got this blink up on the Doom. They need to get the blink Doom off with a War Stomp and just find a kill. I think if you do that repeatedly when the cooldown's up, you can start to reel back some of that net worth here for TNC.
MG.Trust, they look like they're on the hunt, but TNC now going to smoke up, running right into Masaros. He's a big tanky target, but they might be able to get through him. They got the Rupture off. Masaros gets the Stampede, but he's going to go down, but there goes Tims. On your Doom, and now Armel. He got caught by the stun of Fearless with the Inkswell, and they're going to get another KP. Oh, I mean, they got through Masaros, but they had to commit so much for it. And MG.Trust get a 1 for 3 and a Roshan.
Yeah, it's a big win for MG.Trust. Really unfortunate. Tims blinked in, could not Doom, was immediately controlled. Not what you want to see. We just talked about it, but the initiation of TNC depends on that Doom. And into the Roche. Free Roche here coming out for Jackie. TNC now 6k behind. There's more.
Q, 8th Remnant going to catch out March. Tims is behind with the Doom, comes in for the stun, but that's going to cost him his own life. Oh, TNC, what is happening today? This is not the team we're used to watching.
No, it's definitely not there. In a draft that's maybe not in their comfort zone as well, I think, again, Tims on the Doom is not performing to the usual standard we expect. Like Tims is such an active 4. He tends to go out in lanes. He was pretty much a pause 5 this game. So his lane domination wasn't there. His rotations to mid wasn't there. These are all really important for TNC to find at pace. They lose a tier 2 mid, no contestation. They set their sights up top here for MG.Trust. There's going to be an exorcism in 10. So it's going to be a perfect time once more for MG.Trust to look for more objectives.
Yeah. Armel gonna run into Massaros. Hoof stomp, gonna be out in time. No blink. Now the smoke screen there. Armel gonna be safe thanks to March. But Jackie jumps in for a 2-man Inkswell, and now the Soulbind's out. Jackie, he's gonna have a field day here if they can't get out. And Armel, well, he's very close to dying, but he will barely survive. Jackie, he wants to turn back around and go after March instead. Now the Rupture out, however, on the Ricky. Bloodbright does connect Jackie. He might have made an error here. He could lose the Aegis. Gabby gonna jump in. Aetherem gonna lock him down, however. Jackie back in onto that Chaos Light, and Massaros, a 3-man stun to just hold them down. And now KP, he'll go down as well. And Jackie, believe it or not, did not die.
That is just insane. Like, that's a lot of bodies TNC's tossing out. They're not finding the wins they want. They do stop a push.
Look at
Fearless
Massaros.
does pop the EXO. Oh.
He's all over Armel. Armel gonna blink strike away. The silence is gonna follow from Boombill. Inkswell onto a creep. Is it gonna be in range? No. But Armel still on the run. MG.Trust still on the chase. He'll get the regen rune, and he got greedy. He didn't blink in time. So the Aether Remnant gonna lock him in.
Oh, God.
Was it really worth the regen rune to not blink?
Nope. Definitely not. MG.Trust. 8k lead now, Mike, and Jackie just finding solo pickoffs by himself.
Oh, it's a disaster. Dota Plus is at 97%.
Oh, boy.
Quite frankly, I think it should be at 100 right now, just judging by how this game is going. You've just got nothing going for you.
No, the items aren't flying in for Gabby. You don't have anything significant as well on KP and Armel. These are big issues. Like your Bloodseeker is a glorified Rupture machine. That's it. Maybe the Bloodrite comes into play, but all you have is a Force Staff and an Urn. Not even the Spirit Vessel done yet. And it's just making it difficult for TNC. Their tier 2 is going to fall now. A lot of pinks coming out. They can't defend. They just have to play high ground for now.
They do. Fearless. Tier 2 tower, slowly going to be chipped away at. He has that ulti back up in 35 seconds. Meanwhile, Jackie staring down Tims in the mid lane, wants to have a crack at him, and he does, with the blink, with the purge, and Tims will be forced to get the false promise out. Jackie still has the Aegis, will get ruptured up, but Tims, in a very awkward position right now, is going to die. He blinked in for the stun.
Man, it's not lining up, TNC. And gotta go back to the drawing board, figure out what exactly the game plan is. Because whatever this is, certainly doesn't look like a plan to me. And gotta clean up that act. 25-8, MG.Trust though, they are playing on point. They're causing so much havoc. There's no time to breathe here on TNC. They just don't have the room to find that catch-up farm. And look at Gabby. He's just forced to watch Jackie clear out a wave under the tier 1.
Gabby's thinking about the Phantasm, but won't use it. Got a Midas, wants to get a creep for it, but doesn't have one yet. He's going to have to watch March get deleted by Jackie, who's godlike now. 14-1 on this Ricky. And that is one thing I wasn't giving enough props for, MLPDotA. They are playing perfectly, John. They are really doing so. TNC may not be performing as they usually do, but MG.Trust would not be able to win this game as they are if they weren't playing extremely well.
Oh yeah, it's been on point. The timings around Exorcism has been perfect. And that's something we'd love to talk about with the DP, right? If you don't play around Exorcism, it falls flat. Not the case here. Still, MG.Trust, the Aegis does expire, but look at Jackie. He's got the Lincolns. So even if Tims comes in, they might run the risk of just popping that Lincolns instead of getting the Doom off.
Look at Jackie. He wants to go for kills. He's playing Pos 1 Ricky. He's the most farmed here on the map. That means he rules the map. There's nobody else that can exist while he's around. Onto the tier 2 bot tower. Masteros will take care of it. Cali ain't gonna make it that much easier. TNC, they're gonna try for a smoke. Now I'm gonna be frank, John. If they smoke for a fight and they lose, I think you call the GG. I can't see them continuing if they lose this team fight.
It's difficult. Heck, the odds are stacked against them. Maybe if you find a kill, though, even just one, Tims has to be on point for the Doom.
Q, simulate, juke out the fortunes in, and now here comes the Stampede.
Oh,
Soulmind
no.
as well with a double silence. There goes Tims. He'll buy back immediately, but Gabby in big trouble. A nice Sonic Wave down for Armel, but it is not going to be enough. Gabby is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's trying to TP. He will die to Fearless, and they run. There's the GG call.
Oh, boy.
It's just... I agree that they went for a very unique draft. Tims on the Doom. Very unusual, for sure. Obviously, it was not the answer.
No. A lot fell apart. The laning phase was really the biggest issue. It's just that dual lane of Gabby Tims did not get anything done. You expected them to compensate with KP March. We were looking for Bloodright Roots